taking 7 or 8 goals to win by 13 points. And we were just discussing whether Rowbottom could go in the centre today, but I think those 3 years may have caught up with Darryl.
Well, it's a matter of whether Mick Thompson can produce that deja vu.
Yes, we'll see, won't we? 27 points down, and I think, Pete, the thing they have to worry about is making sure they don't let the breeze do all the work for them in this quarter.
Well, what could be interesting, Mr. Doherty and Mr. Brain, is if you look at the scoreboard, that is a clear 4 goals. They haven't got the breeze. When do you say close up shop? Now, if Thompson go in and say, we've got this, let's close up shop, they very well could get rolled. Very well could
They have to keep attacking, don't they?
Well, at the moment, they are going to be attacking because they have not a loose man in defence at this point in time. So they've taken the positive attitude, and that's encouraging from a Thompson point of view. Bounce down to commence the final stanza of the 96 preliminary final junior Val footy.
Well, Lang still in the middle for the Eagles, doing the ruck work with Smith that came out towards Richardson, who gave a slick handball to Withers, but he couldn't handle it, and a pack develops around him. Umpire happy to bounce the ball down. Still in the centre, just the attacking side for the Tigers. Going against this breeze. Smith goes up early, gets the tap down. Nankervis goes with a big woof, but can't get the ball off the ground. Withers with a quick left foot kicks okay. Cowan running out at pace, on hands and knees now. Needs the handball to back to Edwards, but didn't get to him. He's still got a bit of time though, Bagger. Goes at it, got one high, no free kick. Gave it back towards Withers, Richardson, Radford in there working hard for the Eagles. Just let go of the ball. McGough turned around and gave out a good kick as well, but Smith couldn't trap it for the Eagles. Grabs his can, Nankervis though under pressure from Murray. Trapped it well, but then wrapped up and held to him. It's going to be a ball up at half forward for the Tigers.
A little bit hard to give a free kick then, the umpire. You know, when you're standing, when a pack forms and you're standing 35 metres away.
Oh, can I smell that sarcasm there? Comes out towards, well, free kick found on this occasion, and it's going to go to Timmy Gardner at half forward for the Tigers. So first goal crucial here for both sides.
Goes short, good footy too, and finds Christian Smith.
Wrong side of the ground, Ronnie. Wrong side of the ground.
But they've got possession still. Time clock ticking away. 1.5 minutes got to the final quarter.
Deeper into the wrong side of the ground.
Yes, they have. This is dangerous now. If Radford can get it away, he can. Looks to Hobbs, paddles it forward. No real support. Evans comes in as we wait now and see what Thompson can do. Lamb, quick hands. That footy looks pretty hot at the moment, and no one really wants it as Withers fumbled the football again. Shane Evans does, though. The kid does well, but he's kicked it down the throat of Jason Stein. Gets around one, hand passes back to the dead pocket. Christian Smith kicks smothered. If the Eagles can get it out of here and score, it's poetic justice, but they've been fortunate here. A little kick around the body there. I think that was from Dale Menzies. Has found Backwell now. And Backwell, Jamie Backwell, he's probably 40 metres out. McGough kicked one from there earlier. It's not a bad effort. Nice drop punt. The teeth of goal! Nankervis takes a screamer.
Well, he's the marking option you'd like on the wing, isn't he, Stewie? Because he can get down that forward line and take the grab.
Yeah, must give a lot of credit there to Mark Cowans. I think that sort of Cowans had a look around. He called the play to kick long into the square, and Cowans was probably standing 30 metres away from there. He's seen that Terry was one out. And I think that's what's it called, probably a good team play. And Cowans kept the big fella out there, and you would back Nankervis probably 9 times out of 10 against a man his size.
Stewie, should I pencil
I think you should
K in there on the BOJ?
Mark for your BOJ.
I'll fill in the mark.
So, Terry Nankervis' first goal, and the first goal of the final quarter to Thompson. It's 11-12-78. They lead Eastern Suburbs 7-3-45 on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard, and we've been going 4 minutes in this final term. And the first goal crucial for the Tigers there.
Yes, Mickey Thompson, the coach of Eastern Suburbs, wouldn't be happy with that start. Bounce down seized now that Reuter thumps it towards centre half forward. Clean bowled Stein. Now, Atchison swooped on the footy. Lovely play. Goes to centre wing member's side. Shorty Peters. Lamb, he'll get the footy. Shepherds, good work there to Wallace. Wallace handballs to Atchison. Cool in the crisis. Looks up to Nankervis, who is dominating, and the boys are on here behind the play. Be careful, Thompson. As we see that there's been a free kick paid up the ground as well from that pass of Nankervis. And I think you'll find that Mark Cowes has caught one in the chops. Yes, a backhander from Stanovsky. And
I think Goffey just slipped a little one in there to Lammy, and Lammy's not really impressed with that. Just very interesting with the umpires here. I mean, emergency umpires came in and actually broken up a wrestling match between a couple of players. I thought the umpires were instructed to stand clear, let the fellas sort them out for themselves and make reports if they are to come.
Exactly.
Well, it doesn't matter because Mark Cowens has got the ball. He's 15 metres out from goal, directly in front, and Bobs is in and kicks goal number 6 for himself.
Pencil in the sea, Pete, I think.
Pencil in the sea. Okay, lads.
12 goals to Thompson. They move now to 12-12. That's 84 points. Eastern Suburbs 7-3-43. Great Western Hotel bringing you the final quarter. Early stages, I know, gentlemen, but not looking good from an Eastern Suburb point of view.
I think Lammy was wiping his chops there before. I think after that goal, he's just licked them.
Yeah, Jace actually said I could fill in the COW, so we've got Mark Cow now. But I tell you what, he's built more like a big Hereford bull, isn't he?
You wouldn't want to be in his path, would you?
No, sir.
You wouldn't want to be throwing the red rag in front of him because he'd come at it, that's for sure. Back to the centre, umpire Banch has the football in hand. He puts it down. Smith and Reuter. Oh, they both go up. Neither gets an effective tap. Hobbs runs through without the footy. Richardson just a quick kick off the ground. Goes nowhere. Hobbs tackled again. Lang fights his way through. Gets the footy out to half forward for him. Grabs us and has got support everywhere. Wallace and Burger there. Grabber goes to the safety of the boundary line and the boundary umpire bounces over his head. And it's out of bounds at half forward for the Tigers with Shorty Peters a bit of a wry smile on the face there. Thought the boundary umpire might have copped one in the head there. And it was pretty close to it. Throws in, Reuter over the top. Smith from behind, though. And McGough goes to the right boot long towards Allison and Reuter. Bounces over all their heads. Burke getting back there. Oh, you held on to Justin Allison by Mark Harris. Both turning around going at the footy.
Probably a very good decision. Yeah. I know it's hard to pay those, when they're right in front of goal, but you've got to give each guy the opportunity to win the ball fair and square. Discipline. Magic word, discipline.
Justin Allison to kick for his second goal and bring one back for the Eastern Suburbs side. Currently trail by 39 points in the final quarter. Allison comes in from 10 metres out, just runs around a little bit to give himself a bit more room and does it very well and kicks his second goal. And Eastern Suburbs 8, they're 8-3-51. They trailed Thompson 12-12-84 on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard. And we've been travelling 7.5 minutes in this final term, and it's 33 points of difference.
It certainly is, Jason, and, Thompson starting the quarter very nicely, even though they're into the breeze. Kicked 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of this final quarter. Good answer there from Justin Allison from a free kick. Kicks a badly needed 8 goals for the Suburbs, and this bounce down is vital for the Suburbs here. Reuter needs to really bump it to centre-half forward.
Up now, Smith and Reuter. Neither gets an effective tap again. Timmy Gardner runs through, rides a couple of bumps and still traps it. Gives one to McGough and then gaps around. Runs into Smith, gets away from him. He's his own man. Then a handball puts Stein under pressure from a half-back. Can he get away from Hobbs? No, he can't. He's tackled. He throws the ball away, dropping the ball. And a free kick to Eastern Suburbs. And it's going to go to Matty Hobbs.
Just interesting.
And 50. Oh, Timmy Gardner. They've been hot on that all day. And Gavin Habib has not mucked around here. Has given 50.
Just interesting each time Timmy Gardner gets the ball. He doesn't, he's a very strong player. Probably 8 times out of 10 he'll break the tackle and he can be creative. But very rarely do you see a Thompson player put in the effort or try and dispose of the tackling player. And then, even if Tim does break, at times he is put under pressure. And the Thompson fellas seem to peel off wanting the handball. And very rarely will Timmy handball under those circumstances. You tend to try to kick the ball long.
Well, I'm buying land off umpire Habib again. That's 2 blocks I'm buying off him today. Hobbs is down 15 metres out from goal and he puts it straight through the middle. And another quick reply.
I think the scoreboard might be out of kilter a bit there, isn't it?
It is, yes. The scoreboard is incorrect. It's 12-12-84, 9-3-57. Thank you.
That's what it is. It's the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard here on 89.1 Country FM. And the Suburbs are now 27 points behind again, exactly what they were at 3/4 time. And we've been going 10 minutes in the final term. Back to the centre, Smith and Reuter again. Smith goes up early, tap down towards Wembridge and Withers. Withers through the middle of the pack, gives it to, on the bottom of the pack there, looked like it might have been Atchison. It was. McGough also there, and it's going to be a secondary bounce in the middle.
Another interesting move by Rick Thompson from Eastern Suburbs. I said that Wembridge has been playing on Nan Curvis for the first 3 quarters, and I had Wembridge down one of Eastern Suburbs' better plays. He's now picking up Richardson in the middle. So obviously they feel that Richardson's influence has been high, but it's good to make a move from one way. But if a bloke's playing well in one position, I'd like to leave him in that position.
Peters went with a quick kick off the ground and nearly threw Michael O'Leary's head into the crowd. His teammate, free kick for a push in the back. Umpire Habib getting involved in the emotion here, and the crowd's getting pretty involved as well.
And 50.
Oh, well.
Don't you love it? Jason Habib, you're an absolute champion.
Gavin it is, actually, Ronnie.
Did I say Jason?
You did. Three times today you have, but that's okay. He won't mind. He might
Sorry.
have to change his name if he keeps umpiring like this.
Sorry, Gav.
It's a shorter.
It was shorter. He's got the earpiece in. He's listening to the Country FM broadcast. Shorter 50 to Michael O'Leary there. And he'll be kicking from the 50-metre line. He goes in now. He pushes it out to the right, and the Thompson supporters will hope that goes through. In fact, it's out of bounds. Oh. Well, it's touched hands and then hit the boundary, then behind post, so that should be a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, correct. And the boundary umpire hasn't got a clue.
Well, he has now because umpire Banch has told him that it's a boundary throw-in. So it touched hands and then hit the behind post. So it's a boundary throw-in now, just next to the behind post. Atchison tried to tap it over the back. Delamonica plucked it out of the pack, and it's pretty close. It's missed, in fact. It's just gone across. Robbie Reuter had the hands up. He was pretty excited, but Alfie has kicked one behind. So 9-4-58, Eastern Suburbs, Thompson 12, 12-84, 26 points of difference on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard, and we've been going 12 minutes in this final term.
We have ended up with quite a good crowd here today too, considering the conditions. It's,
big crowd.
It's fairly packed in front of the change rooms and the function room.
Richardson does the kicking in for Thompson, goes to the outer side. Reuter standing there by himself. Nobody went with him, and he took the mark at half forward on the outer side. He goes up towards Lang now, and Atchison, it's over there. Heads running through Richardson. Just kicks for the safety of the boundary line and finds it at half back for the Tigers. And I think I'm penciling in ALAN as I speak for BOG. He's been pretty good this afternoon. We'll just have to see how the other boys vote.
Do you change the sheets at your house?
Thank you. Comes out towards Smith. Dylan, that is. Goes back in board, looking for row bottom, and takes the mark just inside the centre square. Allison gives him the lead. Murray says go long, so he does. He puts it up there. Oh, Murray threw away his opponent. Comes out towards him now. He taps it back to Allison. He turns around. His kick smothered. Falls to Shorty. Can Shorty finish it off? I think he has. I think Shorty's pretty happy too. He is. He's told the crowd about it, and he's told the coaching staff, and he's put through his first goal.
Yes, a badly needed one at that 10th goal for the Suburbs. And can they get back in this game, gentlemen? Margin now back to 20 points.
Yeah, it's just what we spoke about in the second quarter, that Shorty Peters is always very dangerous around goal. He's a very good scout, especially off the back situations. He's always going to be more of a danger for the opposition as well as if he is going to be good for his side. So you've probably got to man him up with a pretty good opponent as well.
Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard. Eastern Suburbs 10-4-64, trail Thompson 12-12-84. Back to the centre.
Reuter now tries to take it, but he's tackled, could be holding the ball. Rick Humphries just pushes it forward towards centre half forward. Irving can't take it with him. Jimmy Gardner tries to break away from 3 tackles. Is it dropping the ball? Umpire Bench says it is. And it's centre half back for the Eagles. Matty Hobbs will take the free kick. Well, in fact, it's going to be Rowbottom now. So Rowbottom just runs away and kicks it towards centre half forward. Murray over the back of the pack. Langan, Reuter, Radford tries to tap it towards the advantage of McGough. Burke's there though. Stein over the top of it. Hasn't got much support. He still keeps it in there now. Bottles it up inside 50.
Yeah, good work, Jason Stein. Showed a lot of character there who committed his body, because there was plenty of Suburbs boys sweating on that loose ball there to kick the goal, but he held it in.
He certainly
with the
did.
ball.
Smith and Lang. Lang tries to tap it to the advantage of Reuter, who was running on, but he can't do so. Comes out the back, Gardner. That's Andrew. Quick kick off the ground towards Delamonica and Humphrey. Also Matty Hobbs there with pace, but he can't pick the footy up. Push it out in front of him, then push it out towards the half-forward flank, so he's got to pick it up now. He scoops it up, keeps it in front of him again. He does well. Gardner's there, though, as well. That's Andrew. Humphrey, handball to nobody in particular. The boundary line, in fact.
Good play.
And sees it over just on the attacking side for the Eagles.
20 points the margin. GDFL preliminary final 96 at Godfrey Street, brought to you by Country FM 89.1 on your dial.
Well, I've just seen the president of Thompson, John Mitchell, and he's put the hands to the throat. I hope he doesn't think his side's choking already. My goodness.
He's probably got 500 reasons to worry.
He probably has too. It comes out towards Lamb, pushes it back towards Richardson. No free kick. He taps it to the advantage of the boundary line and also Ricky Humphrey. And it's still at half forward for the Eagles on the outer side. We've been playing 15.5 minutes in this final term. It's 12-12-84, Thompson Eastern Suburbs, 10-4-64, the battle of the arch rivals. That's 20 points of difference.
Christian Smith doing well on the ruck too, the big fella for the Tigers. Pack of players have formed. There's been a throw on proceedings. I think you'll find it's going to go the way of Thompson, as it was against Andy Reuter, I think Nathan Murray, I think you'll find. Flicked the ball out, and Thompson now going to attack.
Goes towards Nankervis now. His ball holds up into the breeze. Backwell in front, Loughton from behind. Withers was roving at the front of the pack, but he couldn't trap it before it went out of bounds. It's a half-4 for the Tigers.
As I mentioned at three-quarter time, you know, if Thompson adopted the philosophy of kind of thinking that the game's over and we'll block it up, maybe that's the way it's going. They're playing very defensive.
Well, Atchison there, couldn't get much of a hand on it, but it was okay. It went to Stein, then to Smith over the top to Nankervis, close to the wing, kept the footy in. He went out, but the ball was still in. Goes towards half forward again, it holds up. Rowbottom's there, gets a foot to it, comes out towards Barry Edwards. It just spins on its end there, the footy. Drags Hobbs off the ball. Withers rides one bump, then handballs to nobody. Edwards stands his ground, can't take it with him. Hobbs is over it again. O'Leary working hard. He's slung off the footy, but umpire Banch will come in and bounce the ball at centre half forward for the Tigers. As Rowbottom's very slow to get up there. Got that thigh heavily strapped. Got a corky in the first term. Gardner, that's Timmy, takes it out of the ruck. Handball to Nankervis inside 50. He tried to measure the pass to Cowan, but it was smothered. Stefanovski and Cowan on hands and knees. First to recover, get the ball out. They can't do so. They bottle it up.
And once again, they've gone straight to that dead pocket. I think if Terry Nankervis usually, I mean, Cowan's supplied the option, but I think in that instance, the better option would have been long into the square, which was vacant. With a bit of luck, or it might have rolled through, or Menzies might have been able to get there for the mark.
Back to the footies. We see Richardson trying to break the tackle, get it to Withers. Will it stick? No, it won't. He's got one in the back, though. And against young Danny Irving. And
bit stiff there, boys. There's no comment.
I'm not sure when it is. It might be Wednesday or Thursday this week on the TV. The Emmy Awards are. That would be the biggest Academy Award I've ever seen in my life.
Well, the umpire fell for it, did he?
It's Googie's son.
Yeah. Googie's.
Googie with us?
Yes. It might be too. Well, Withers now. Close to the boundary line, comes in on the right side for a left footer and has put it through. So it just gives a little bit more breathing space to the Thompson side. Shane Withers with his first goal this afternoon, and Thompson's 13th there, 13-12-90. They led Eastern Suburbs 10-4-64 by 26 points on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard. And we've been playing 19 minutes in this final term.
Well, it's taken about 3.5 quarters now for the umpires to have an influence on the game. And I think they've just influenced the game.
Just noticed you're going to make mention of the move of Wembridge off Nankervis. I think Nankervis had 4 or 5 very important touches in this quarter, and Richardson's still getting plenty of the ball himself. So, I mean, when coaches make moves, if they come off, you've done a great job. If they don't, you're a mug. But you know, that's possibly a move that shouldn't have been made in the first place.
Yeah, you're right there. And Richardson got it out to Nankervis on that wing, and he tackled Dylan Smith, who beat him to the footy. Then he goes wide towards Edwards again and Rowbottom. Rowbottom tapped it away from him on this occasion. It's close to the boundary line again. Rowbottom tried to handball it over the top to Loughton. He got it to him anyway. Backwell tackles him, back in towards O'Leary. Quick left foot kick around the corner. Atchison and also Lang. The boundary line's there. It's out of bounds on the full. And Atchison will take the free kick at half forward for the Tigers.
Been quite a reliable defender for the Tigers this afternoon, Andrew Atchison. Polled very well in the Guest Video Cup Award. And he'll drive now the Thompson side into attack.
And the man standing on the mark was the winner, Peter Lang.
Peter Lang, yes, had a great season for the Eastern Suburbs side. Atchison takes his time, then elects to kick the footy along. A lovely kick too into the breeze. Up before exceptions. Rowbottom and 50, and it's all over now, I suggest. Because Bagger, or Barry Edwards it was infringed with. And Gavin Habib just loves to give territory away.
You should really expect a lot more from one of your experienced players, Rowbottom. I mean, there's no necessary for that. I mean, even if it wasn't indiscretion there, the idea is to try and regain a little bit of composure. The shot would have been probably from 45 metres out, so it wasn't a definite, and it's now penciled into the book before it even comes. And now Rowbottom coming off the ground.
So Edwards from the goal square, as we see Rowbottom coming off to be replaced after that 50-metre indiscretion. It looks like Delamonica's also coming off. And
Actually, the Rowbottom's actually come off with the blood rule. The umpires seen him off the ground.
Right.
So maybe, he's given that pushback that's caused the 50. Maybe there was a bit of an indiscretion in it, but it's a matter of, holding in yourself and hopefully trying to make a difference on the scoreboard.
So Gordon Collins is coming on for Rowbottom, and Luke Thompson on for Elf Delamonica. And I think Collins has to go down and stand where Rowbottom went off the ground because of the blood rule. He's next to Humphrey now, so he can go on. And Edwards from the goal square could nearly do the drop kick through. He's going to go to Torpedo and kick it over the tree. It didn't quite get over the tree, and it fell down nicely, but it's a goal for Edwards, his second. And it's Thompson's 15th, 15-12, 102. Eastern Suburbs 10-4, 64 on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard. We've been going 22 minutes in this final term.
Yes, we certainly have, Jason. And, Thompson, bit of a surprise packet with three of their better players out of the side.
I'm trying to consolidate. Ronnie, I'm trying to work out what the cockiness of our cameraman up here is. He hasn't stopped clapping every time Thompson's kicked a goal.
He's been on the bandwagon for 2 years. For 2 years. Absolutely 2 years he's been on the bandwagon.
Trying to recoup some losses from last season.
Young Brett's a one-eyed tiger supporter.
What's happening, Darren?
Back to the centre now. Royd up with a big thump over Richardson's head, over Peter's head as well. Stein's there, loses the footy, high tackle. And the umpire's just evening up the free kicks in this last quarter a bit after just going a bit berserk there for a few minutes. Stein now at the free kick.
He's just about back Atchison here with Shorty Peters, I think.
He goes further afield, though, towards Backle at centre-half forward, getting back there. Hobbs falls to the front of the pack now, and Curvis can get it out to Lamb. He does so now. Lamb at half forward can drive it long towards Cowan. He can't take the mark in front. Evans, he can't. He's bowled over as well by Stefanovski. Loughton, he can't pick it up. Backwell, he can't. He can tap it on, though. Reuter there, Robbie. Goes around the corner looking for Hobbs, and he takes a good mark in front of Lamb.
Yep, Matty Hobbs, nice grab. Plays on foolishly, but fortunately Mick O'Leary's able to mop up for him. Left foot kick under pressure, drops short, and Jimmy Wallace doesn't mind for the Tigers. He takes a nice mark at half back.
It's really got me while you try and handball to a fella running past while your opponent had hold of your jumper. I mean, you haven't got a hell of a lot of control of where the ball's going to go.
Inexperienced, I'd call that, as we see now an opportunity here for the Suburbs. Mickey O'Leary can't control the footy, and it's out of bounds just in front of the comedy position. Members side centre wing, just favouring the half-forward flank of the Suburbs slightly, as Smith does it easy. Does well and gives it to Googie. That was Withers, of course, as we see he's kicked, though. Look up for the lunchbox. He can't trap it because Robbie Reuter's there, and just copped a little bit of treatment from his opponent in, I think that might have been Andy Gardner. But nothing forthcoming from that. A little bit of frustration from Robbie Reuter, I'd suggest.
He's been a good fill-in, Christian Smith, for Taylor over the last 2 weeks. He had a mountainous job last week against Wilson's, which I thought he handled very well. And today he hasn't been spectacular, but he's made every issue a contest, and he's given the fellas around him the opportunity to receive the ball.
Dan Curvis has ripped the ball off Collins. He goes in from 35 metres, and he misses for one behind to Terry Dan Curvis.
Well, Scotty, that was exactly the same thing again. Held by the jumper, and you're trying to get the handball away, and it's just too cramping.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to be very quick with your handball. If the opposition player even slings your jumper the slightest little bit, all of a sudden the ball's been indirect, and you're a chance of losing the ball.
Kick in by Stefanovski, put Wembridge under pressure. He got tackled. Dan Curvis is there. He's got support, though. Collins running through. He's ripped off the ball by Humphrey. Withers and Humphrey over it again. Humphrey is ripped off the footy. Kick off the ground out towards half back. Lang rides one bump, then drops the footy. Oh, Reuter just goes in with a loose kick there and nearly took the head of Andrew Atchison with him, and it's going to be a kicking in danger free kick to Andrew Atchison.
Yep, the rubber man of the Thompson Footy Club. All 39.5 kilos of him. Very key defender for the Tigers. Kicks it, spiral torpedo. Drops short, though, and in front, taking a good grab, Peter Lang. Hand pass, puts young Irving under pressure. He butters up the young fella. Ball doesn't sit for him, though. Christian Smith comes in and the rubber man just throws the head back in. Atchison copped the high tackle there from Reuter, but he's okay. He's got possession of the ball. He's happy. Drives it into centre-half forward. Up they go. In front, taking a nice mark, Brett Loughton, who's played a great game of defence for the Suburbs this afternoon, and he'll drive them out of the danger zone.
Goes out wide looking for Murray on the wing, and he takes the mark. from half back now. Paul kick around the corner. Lang doesn't sit for him, doesn't sit for Atchison either, but he's first back there on hands and knees. Handball out, chopped off by Radford. He can't pick it up. Wallace is there. Oh, just goes with a fresh air shot. Free kick found for a hold. And it's going to go to James Wallace at half back as Atchison gets up, feeling the effects of a heavy knock. Goes out wide looking for Richardson and Wembridge. It's out of bounds on the full, that Wallace kick, and it's going to be a free kick to Shane Wembridge on the outer side wing.
I think Nathan Murray's a player that Eastern Suburbs like to get a hell of a lot more. I've even seen now he's just starting to make his way down there. He's probably been caught in between too many contests rather than be the player making the contest today.
Wembridge now goes towards Peters coming in from the side. Atchison takes a good mark, gives it to Gardner, quickly plays on, gets around the Hobbs tackle, handball to Wallace running off half back. He's got a bit of time to set something up. It's a poor kick. Humphrey can't trap it first time. Collins, big thump away. Good. Loughton has to stand his ground there, drops the footy. Backwell's there. Good handball on hands and knees to Timmy Gardner. Turns around, gives the handball back towards Humphrey. Good pick up on the half volley. In close quarters, Gardner again. Stein, a long way up from half back, just draws the player, then gives the handball away to Wallace. And it was a bump by Brent Loughton there that threw him off the footy. And out of bounds on the full, it's going to be a free kick to the Eagles. We've been going 26.5 minutes in this final term, and it's Thompson 14-13-97, Eastern Suburbs 10-4-64. It's 33 points of difference.
Long kick to a beauty in front. Then a nice mark taken by Smith. No free kick either. And let's hope he hasn't hurt himself there. He just gingerly gets up off the carpet. It's Atchison, natural fact. And gets up limping, Andy Atchison. You're ashamed to injure yourself now. Only seconds remaining. Good work there, Radford, who hasn't stopped trying all day, to O'Leary. Butters up well as Mick O'Leary. Left foot kick to centre half forward. Loose ball, cleans, bowls them all. But here's an opportunity now for Lukey Thompson. Shoots at goal. Has Tomo kicked it? He has. The little back pocket player finally finds the woodwork here at the Godfrey Street Oval. Kicks his first.
He does. Luke Thompson's first goal, and Eastern Suburbs 11. They're 11-4-70. Which is pretty good kicking with the wind as it is today. Thompson 14-13-97. It's 27 points of difference on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scored as we see Justin coming on and Andrew Atchison going off for Thompson.
Then Mickey Gann comes on for his first run for the day for Thompson also.
Okay, well, probably a good move because Atchison's going to be an important part of their work as Robbie Reuter gets tackled there and throws the ball away, allows good work from Withers. Beautiful pass and finds the big man, Plugger Cowan. Mark Cowan. He has kicked. Let's have a look. 6 goals, 3 here this afternoon. He's no more than 35 metres out directly in front.
And Ronnie, a few seagulls have started to come and roost at the Thompson ground. A few of them had a little whisper in my ear, and I heard a half-time score. Anglesey 19 points up on Queenscliff.
Well, that's comforting from an Anglesey point of view. As Plugger, Cowan bangs it through. 7 goals, Mark Cowan, 15 for the Thompson Tigers, and they're home in the 96 for a preliminary final. Scoreboard, Great Western Hotel scoreboard shows that the Thompson side 15-13, 103 points. Eastern Suburbs 11-4-70, margin back to 33 points, gentlemen.
Scotty, while Mark Cowan's been at the kindergarten end of the ground, he's always tried to get his team to give him the ball on the function side of the ground, is he?
Yeah, he's led to the right space all the time. The only time that he has let out wide is to try and create something else behind him. He's played well as a team man today. Interesting to see that every time the ball has gone down there, he's been in front, and he's a very hard man to stop when he's in front.
Ball now is driven down there from a free kick in the centre of the ground by Peter Lang, but Edwards now at half back for the Thompson side. Gains kicks at a good 65 metres right across the ground, and it's gone out of bounds, and the Tigers are there. What's wrong, Stewie?
Oh, I still can't believe that you'd be in the centre of the ground and you'd put the ball way out on that flank. On that,
mate, when you're 33 points up in a preliminary final, who cares?
Win by 39.
You're a hard man, Stewie.
Reuter on the wing now with the free kick. Goes towards centre half forward. Loughton alone takes the mark in front of Withers. Backwell standing the mark now. Loughton. Murray gives him the lead long. He goes short though towards Allison, who can't take the mark, put up the hand, but it was over his head. And it's out of bounds 50 metres out from the Eagles' goal. It's the Battle of the Tigers in the grand final by the looks of it. Bannockburn and Thompson.
I can't lose, can I, Jace?
No, you can't. The old Richmond fan will be happy, won't you? Cannot lose with the Battle of the Tigers. It's a boundary throw in. Smith and also Lang falls towards Timmy Gardner again. Breaks one, breaks two. Handball out to Richardson. Sits now on half back. Was going to handball, then kick, and now kick again with his left. Reuter in front of Mickey Gann, over the back. Irving pushed out in front, and it was Reuter. Got pushed by Mick Gann on the wing.
He has been strong all day, Andrew Reuter.
He has been. And
with little support, I think.
Has had a pretty good season this year. Runner-up to Timmy Gardner in the Whitley medal. Oh, Loughton over the back. Good mark.
So just lacked that today across the half-forward line. That place that's been able to take a mark. Obviously, with Lang playing a lot on the ball, it does rob the forward line of that marking option.
Loughton goes long towards the teeth of goal. Lang's up there, hold, and it's against Thompson. It's going to go to Eastern Suburbs.
Peter Lang.
And it's Lang or Murray. I think it might be Murray, in fact, for the hold. And Nathan Murray will have a chance to kick his first goal today. And he's going to be kicking from 10 metres out. Good work, Brett. Brett's right on the Thompson bandwagon here. Murray walks in and kicks his first. And that's Eastern Suburbs' 12th goal. 12-4-76. Trell Thompson, 15-13, 103 on the Great Western Hotel. The final quarter scoreboard. We've been going 31 minutes in this final term. So Thompson through to the 1996 Geelong District Football League Grand Final next Saturday afternoon against Bannockburn. And Brett Roby, you can't get 10-1 in a two-horse race, unfortunately. Unbelievable. So back to the centre for possibly the final time this afternoon. And umpire Banch has ball in hand. Smith against Reuter. And the boys just getting their thoughts together for the guest video player of the day, the 3, 2 and 1, their votes. Richardson in the middle now. Kick around the corner. Mick Gann in front. Play on. It was touched off the boot. Goes to Smith. Then to Timmy Gardner, who gets around Reuter and then around McGough and gets away from Hobbs. Goes towards Nankervis at half forward. And he takes a mark in front of Dylan Smith. Runs away from him. Was going to kick with his left boot. Then went with his right short to Mickey Gann, who tried to scoop it up and couldn't do so. Withers is there in support. Little kick around the corner. Backwell getting back there. Loughton takes a good mark for the Eagles in the last line of defence.
As he's done all day, Brett Loughton just chips it over the top, and Andy Reuter, who's really gone out of the game after half-time for mine, has taken the football at half-back now for the Suburbs. A long kick, and that's what they should have been doing all day. Finally goes out to the direction of Peter Lang, who can't control the ball. It'll be a game that he'd like to forget in 96, having a great season, Peter Lang, for the Eastern Suburbs side, winning the Guest Video Cup. Ball now back into play. Christian Smith, who's done it all day, grabbing it out of the air and looking for support at ground level, can't find any. Pack-up players have formed, and the umpire will bounce down. Out of side centre wing, just about Sarah time. Thompson, 103, Eastern Suburbs, 76. 27-point lead as the free kick has been paid for that ruck infringement, and it's going to go the way of Peter Lang.
Lang goes with his right boot towards centre-half forward. Over the back of the pack, Luke Thompson can't trap it. Harris bowls him over as well. Luke Thompson shepherded by Murray. Thompson goes with his right boot and kicks his second goal. And that's Eastern Suburbs 13th, 13-482. Makes the margin 21 points now. Thompson 15-13, 103 on the Great Western Hotel final quarter scoreboard. And you wouldn't see Luke Thompson kick multiple goals in a game too often, I don't think.
No, especially one on his foot, one on his left foot. That was rather a nice finish for the afternoon for him. I love the left foot kick, a bit of pressure as well. Great goal.
Smith takes it out of the ruck and gives it to Timmy Gardner. Well done, Gardner at centre half forward now, just sets it up for Cowan. Stefanowski behind. Good punch away. Cowan, though, follows it up again. Hands and knees. Can handball it out to Backwell. He got ripped off the ball by Stefanowski. Got the kick away, then a half back again. Wembry, wrapped up by Richardson. He's got support, though. Reuter walks back into a couple of Tigers. Then the ball, does it go 10 metres? Well, it does, umpire Banch says. Hobbs takes the mark at half back. Chased by Smith. Goes with his right boot towards Peters. Over his head, and also Wallace coming across Stein. He keeps it in front of him. Oh, and then just scoops it out. But umpire Heavy won't pay the free kick there. And it's going to be a boundary thrown at half forward for the Eagles.
Yes, I'll say it again. just about siren time. 32 and a half minutes gone. We're into overtime now, boys. As we see the throw in now, half-forward flank, Suburbs into attack. Smith again takes the ball cleanly out of the air. He's contested well all day as Christian Smith, the big ruckman for the Tigers. As Stewie Scott said, there it is, siren sounds, and the two Tigers do battle. Jason Doherty in the 96 GDFL Grand Final, and I'm of course talking of Thompson Bannockburn.
They certainly do. Thompson 15-13-103 have defeated Eastern Suburbs 13-4-82 by 21 points. And in that final quarter, Thompson kicked 5 goals, 1. Eastern Suburbs kicked 6 goals, 1 to outscore them, but couldn't get close enough. 21 the difference. And jubilant scenes here for the Thompson boys as they move into the 1996 Grand Final, and in fact their second successive Grand Final. They played last year against Stuart Scott's Geelong West Cricket and Football Club and were successful on that occasion. A big assignment next week against Bannockburn. The goal kickers in this preliminary final for Thompson, 7 to Mark Cowan and 2 each to Dale Menzies, Barry Edwards and Andrew Gardner, while singles to Terry Nankervis and Shane Withers. While for Eastern Suburbs, 3 to Robbie Reuter, 2 each to Luke Thompson, Craig McGough and Justin Ellison, singles to Shane Wembridge, Matthew Hobbs, Nathan Murray and David Peters. So 21 points of difference. And boys, they just couldn't quite bring the margin back close enough in that vital third term. The Eagles let Thompson get away a little bit, and they just held on in the end, even though Eastern Suburbs outscored them in the final term.
James, I think it comes down to when you're playing finals football, your guys with a bit of age and a bit of experience have got to be the front runners. And if they're on a day off or down a little bit on form, it makes it very difficult from the word go, the first bounce of the ball for your young fellas to grab it by the throat and have a dip. It's really a game where experienced players have got to calm the ship. I think the Eastern Suburbs boys, they're better players. Too many of them were prepared to fade in and out of the game and not be consistent throughout the game, whereas the Thompson boys, I think their bigger guns held sway, and even their younger fellas, the young fella against Andy Reuter, he tried hard all day, and I think as a full team, I think Thompson put it together. They worked the ball better with the wind, and even more the point, they worked it a hell of a lot better into the breeze.
Well, 15-13-103 Thompson into the 1996 GDFL Grand Final. Eastern Suburbs 13-4-82, 21-point winners. We'll take a break, be back with the wrap-up of the match, some of the better players and the guest video player of the day after this on 89.1 Country FM.
Buckley's, Geelong's total entertainment centre, have just about everything for a flutter. You could win with 105 pokies, TAB facilities, Club Kino, and if you're hungry, tempting tucker in the Cave Bistro with steak and seafood on Tuesday nights, pasta on Wednesday nights, prices ranging from $5 to $8. Buckley's are Country FM sponsors, providing the best in live entertainment, and are located at the corner of Fellmongers and Boundary Roads, Breakwater. Phone Buckley's 4848 66.
Perfect holidays or hassle-free business flights. Think Gull. With over 15 years of service to the Geelong community, Jenny and Gary at Gull know the travel industry and can arrange domestic or international flights, group travel, tours, cruises and accommodation packages to suit your needs. Take advantage of the Gull bus with 12 departures daily between Geelong and Tullamarine. Book through Gull Travel, 45 McKillop Street, Geelong. Phone 224966. Think Travel, Think Gull. Sponsors of Country FM.
Collins Trading, Bureau Street, North Geelong have all your office needs, including new and second-hand filing cabinets, office chairs and more, plus a wide range of machinery, plywood, chipboard, square tube piping, structural steel, cut to size, and above all, speedy service. General dealers Collins Trading are Country FM sponsors. Phone them on 787432 or call in at 131 Bureau Street, North Geelong.
This is a message to clubs, organisations and businesses. If you have need for promoting events, names and functions, a great way to get your message across is by weatherproof stickers, outdoor promotional cork-flute signs, posters and acrylic signs. At 8 Tegman Street, Belmont, the Sticker Company can assist you. Country FM stickers came from the Sticker Company, so if you want effective advertising, call the Sticker Company. They chose Country FM to advertise, like we choose the Sticker Company to advertise. Phone the Sticker Company on 434280, sponsors of Country FM.
The GDFL Match of the Day, brought to you by Buckley's Gaming Centre, Fellmongers Road, Breakwater. Here again is Jason Doherty and Ron Brain.
Well, it's the Battle of the Tigers next Saturday afternoon. The Geelong District Football League Grand Final will be fought out between Bannockburn and Thompson after Thompson's 21-point preliminary final victory today, 15-13, 103. Eastern Suburbs 13-482. The battle of the arch rivals. They've played 3 times in 6 weeks, and now it stands Thompson 2-1. And Ronnie, you just couldn't understand how a 36-point win by Eastern Suburbs 6 weeks ago can turn into a 42-point win by Eastern Suburbs by Thompson 2 weeks after. And then,
well, I nearly said at the start of the game, history should repeat itself. Let's have a look. If we go back, Thompson lost the first, won the second, lost the third, and they've won the fourth. So there you are.
So it's well, they've had a few.
What did I go Eastern Suburbs?
I don't know. They've had a few good battles during the year, and another one today. Boys, Stu, you've been looking after the Eastern Suburbs side. In your view, where did Eastern Suburbs lose the game today? And some of the better players also, while you're mentioning that, where did they lose it?
I think Pete hit the nail on the head a few minutes back when he said that, these type games need your more senior players to stand up and be candid, and then you hope the young fellas jump on the horse and go for a ride with you. And probably a lot of responsibility was thrown back onto the younger fellas that didn't quite lift today that they possibly could have. Blokes like, I thought Nathan Murray had a quiet day, and they obviously need a lot more from those top players. As I mentioned, I thought 3 quarters the job he did on Nan Curvis. Nan Curvis is a class player. Actually off Nan Curvis and put him on Richo, because either move really worked. Richo and Nan Curvis both played well. I thought Loughton for 4 quarters was a consistent contributor. Again, Reuter, he did die a little bit. I've been down for 2.5 quarters. I thought he was a good mover, prime mover for Eastern Suburbs. I think we mentioned Edgewood end up having to rest him in the forward line, and that took a little bit away from the attacking play out of the back line that they're usually used to. McGough at times was sort of there, but he was obviously hampered by his injuries, but he was able to get a couple of goals. Mick O'Leary tries hard all day, but wasn't one of Mick's better days, but he was thereabouts trying to get the younger fellas around him and trying to lift some of the more senior players in the side to the occasion. And I thought Rowbottom at times, he used his experience well at times. We've had a couple of other times, little indiscretion up there that cost him a 50-metre penalty, and he ended up coming off the ground. It was probably the big thing for the day for Eastern Suburbs, that things didn't fall right for them. They gave themselves a bit of a chance there late in the third quarter by outscoring Thompson in the third quarter, but I think the end result, it probably took a little bit more out of them than what we maybe thought it might have. And they attacked hard early on in the last quarter, but I just think that hard work they did in the third quarter probably tied them out a little bit too much to finish the game off with the run that we'd expect from them. Just give my votes. Peter obviously look after Thompson. My votes for the day, I gave him votes last week as well. Not so much probably for the work that he's done, but the ability to stop the opponent he was on in Peter Lang. I thought Andrew Atchison was a really important player for Thompson today. Didn't take a lot of those high marks that we're used to, but obviously I said if Lang plays well, Eastern Suburbs do, and I think Atchison's done a great job. 2 votes to the coach in the centre of the ground. I thought Richo was thereabouts all day, especially there in the third quarter when Eastern Suburbs were getting a bit of a run on. Richo was still getting plenty of the ball and giving his players a chance to win. And very early in the last quarter, when the game was still there to be won, Richo set the example and his players fed off him. And 3 votes, no doubt, not just for his own ability to be able to get goals, but the ability to be able to set up a couple of clever knock-ons. Great team plays. He left the goal square open on a few times and allowed the other Thompson players to run in. And I give him 3 votes to Mark Cowan.
So 3, 2 and 1. Mark Cowan and Alan Richardson, Andrew Atchison for Stewie Scott. So Mark Cowan, 3 votes there. Peter, your 3, 2 and 1.
Yeah, with the Thompson guys, I certainly think they come out of the blocks better. They were more prepared to use the breeze, kick long into the forward line, and work the ball back into their own area when they were kicking into the breeze. I think a lot of that had to do with Mark Cowan. I think he was a bit of a leader there. He was making their players kick the ball to him, and therefore he was leading into the pocket where it was easier for them to score instead of going into the dead pocket. I think Eastern Suburbs were caught short. They were more prepared to run the ball around and chip kick and handball backwards. And, the more times you handle the ball short, the more chance you've got of actually getting caught and turning the ball over. And I think Eastern Suburbs at times got caught in that position. Thompson won the ball and were able to clear it away. For the Thompson side, I did think, number 1, Christian Slater. Christian Slater.
You've been watching too many movies, Pete.
I've seen this guy's head close up. He's nowhere near it. Christian Smith, I thought he didn't win the ruck against Andy Reuter. I thought Andy Reuter played very well for the Eastern Suburbs side, but I thought Christian Smith was always about. He made a contest of it and tried very hard. Going through the Thompson guys, I thought Andrew Atchison played very well for a couple of quarters. I've got him marked down for the first and through the fourth. The coach, Alan Richardson, yeah, I think he only made one discretion where he gave a 50-metre away, but other than that, he was very strong, certainly let people know that he was about, ran hard at the ball, and when he did kick the ball, he kicked it to position, kicked it long with the breeze, and certainly was the general that he should be in the centre of the ground, and he played very well. Down, even Shane Grapsis, I thought he floated in and out of the game. When he got the ball, he did good constructive things with it. Timmy Gardner, medal winner, maybe coming down off a bit of a high during the last week or two, but still put in through a couple of good quarters and drifted in and out. We've been told by a charming young lady down the front here that I've got to give Barry Edwards a mention. I thought in the early part of the game, he was big and strong and took some good marks and played very well. And, you know, I think he was thereabouts.
The 85-metre goal might have had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Fair goal, that one.
I'm a bit of a lover of guys that can boot it from the centre of the ground torpedo, but
You love me then.
one-on-one, mate, the next time he tried it, he kicked it out in the full. So, you know, maybe he should have got dragged for that.
You're a tough man. You wouldn't be catching the Tigers. My goodness.
With the Berbers, I thought they had quite a few players down. Andy Reuter, I thought, played very well. Mick O'Leary faded in and out, was probably one of the more junior veterans that did have a little bit of a go when things had to be lifted. And I thought Shorty Peters was probably one of the Eastern Suburbs' better players. Chipped in, a bit of a scragger, a bit of a worrier. I'd hate to have him on my tail at the speed I move. He'd cut my legs out from under me. My 3 2-1s is, I've given 3, obviously. I've been saying it since about quarter time, to Mark Cowabunga. I thought he's played exceptionally well for a big fella on a windy day. And I've been around footy a little bit and seen a lot of games. I've never seen a guy so unselfish. Like, he was more than happy 20 metres out to hand the ball over to one of his teammates. I'll give him 3. Like Scotty, Alan Richardson, I think he's worth 2. I don't think Eastern Suburbs were that far away from the winning scoreline. So, you know, I think we've got to slip them in there somewhere. So I've kind of tossed up between David Peters for a vote. Andy Reuter, I thought he did well. And maybe going back the other way, maybe Andrew Aitchison, but I'd probably give it to Shorty Peters.
All right, so Mark Cowan, Alan Richardson and David Peters for Peter Walker. And Stewie's was Mark Cowan, Alan Richardson and Andrew Aitchison. Ronnie?
It's easy, mate. They've all missed it. They've all missed the best man on the ground, but we'll leave that to last. Richardson 1.
Was that umpire Habib?
Cowan 2. Brett Loughton of Eastern Suburbs. Clearly best on ground here this afternoon.
Best on ground.
And you blokes want to get back on the soup.
Best on ground.
Well,
Best
I think Ronnie's proved again that he knows absolutely nothing about football. No, that's not a bad call. He was their best player all day, I think, Eastern Suburbs. So, Loughton 3 for Ronnie Brain, Cowan 2, and Richardson 1. Well, I've given... I think everybody else has missed him, but I've given 1 vote to Christian Smith. I thought his go in the middle. He had to take over
Christian Slater.
He had to take over from Nathan Taylor in last week's match, as Stewie mentioned during the call. And again today, he had a big job against Andy Reuter, who was the runner-up in the Whitley medal to Timmy Gardner. So a big job by him. He plucked it out of the ruck a lot of the times and gave first use of the ball to Timmy Gardner and Shane Withers and a few others. And I just thought his game today was pretty good. And with Taylor, looks like he may be good next week. It could be an extra forward line option for the Tigers next week if Christian Smith can play up there. We've given 2 votes to Mark Cowan. As everybody's mentioned, he was close to best on ground, 7 goals. But I just thought that the man who had to stand up and be counted today was the leader of the band, Alan Richardson. I thought that with a couple of players out injured, a couple of experienced players, Chris Gardner especially out across half-back, I think you can't measure his experience until you see him out of the side. And I think today that they need Richardson to play well in the midfield and take a bit of pressure off the back line. Timmy Gardner, as Peter said, also played pretty well. Just thought his value to the side this afternoon was just worth a little bit more than what Cowan's 7 goals were. And that's why I've given him 3 votes this afternoon. But what does that work out, Ronnie? You've been totalling them up. Do you need the calculator, or you're okay?
No, I've been able to come to grips with myself again.
Just before you give the final scores, Scotty and I believe that, you know, you two moguls of the media have kind of, you know, you jump on the back. You guys jump on the back of the wagon. You make us give the scores best players first up, and then go the opposite way just to get you know, just so the guys out here think you're fair men.
You're the guest, so that's why we let you go first. That's all.
Well, actually, with a possible 10, No. There's, out of 12...
Yep, 10 votes, Mark Cowan.
Mark Cowan ended up with 10. It's not a bad effort, is it?
Nearly as many goals he kicked. You guys didn't even give him 3.
Richardson with 8 gets 2. And Christian Smith got 1. Atchison got 1. Dave Peters got 1. And Brett Loughton got 3. So Brett Loughton, who was clearly best on ground, gets 1 vote.
See how he's worked him into the votes? Beautifully.
I reckon he works down at Bowen Head.
He probably does too. Or if he doesn't, he might next week. Right, might give him a job.
So congratulations, big plugger, Mark Cowan here this afternoon. Well, he didn't have a bad day. 6-7-3.
And go away.
Probably given 3 or 4 away. So congratulations, Mark, on a great game here this afternoon, setting it up for the Thompson Tigers. The coach, leader of the band, 2 votes, and of course Brett Loughton from Eastern Suburbs, a fine job in defence all afternoon.
So it's 15-13-103, Thompson Eastern Suburbs 13-482. That's the final score in the preliminary final. Now we'll go back to the studio and have a short break and then be back to wrap up and a little bit of a preview to next week's GDFL Grand Final between Bannockburn